An Independent Musician Guide. Chapter 1. Independent Musician / Do-It-Yourself. Selling Music Online 1. Find a middle ground between uniqueness and clone, between art and business. Remember, you're a musician, not a philosopher. Music is the realm of entertainment. You're there to entertainment, not to dazzle people with your uniqueness. When I used to work in bars in my younger days, I noticed that the people didn't care for bands trying out their original music on them. They wanted something they were familiar with, which is the stuff on the current pop charts. They wanted to catch a buzz and have a few dances, and that was it. They didn't care about some original band creating a great new sound. Most of the time, unless it's really cool and upbeat, they just don't care. It's just music, the background of most people's lives. In fact, the older a person gets, the less they listen. Most people my age rarely listen to music anymore in their leisure time. No matter how unique you are or want to be, you have to stick with certain industry standards because that's partially the way the customer has been conditioned. It's what he wants. He wants a 3.5 to 5 minute song, 12 minutes for a dance track, about 10 to 12 songs on the CD with at least 45 minutes of time at no more than $10. They want the CD packaged to look good even if it's an MP3. Music buyers are impulse buyers. The CD cover has to look cool. Go to mp3.com Digital Audio Music, DAM, for info about designing covers. Creating a CD involves recording music, often different instruments and the voice at different times, then superimposing them on top of each other, as well as adding extra sounds and mixing it for tone, loudness, compression, etc. Mastering is a process you can learn yourself if you have the proper digital equipment, but if you are interested in going professional, hire a mixing or master engineer to take your raw recording and fix it up his or her way. Even though most things are now recorded via digital recording units, there are plenty of used 4-track cassette recorders on the market being sold through used musical instrument stores, over the internet and other places that can serve for recording equipment for now. Have good text on the cover, a good CD name, good pictures, etc. Include the lyrics on a few printed pages or on the inside cover. If you're an unknown, you need a good graphic design on the cover in order to appeal to people's impulses. Packaging is a big deal, especially since you are competing with thousands of other CDs out there. When you sell online, your music will be represented graphically both on your website and on music portal websites, so you have to present it well in these two venues. You can design your own CD covers on your own computer with the right software, then either print them up yourself if you have a laser color printer or take it to a commercial printer. Most of the cost is for the setup. After that, the price of printing 100 or 1000 is negligible. It's the setup that costs a lot of money up front. Even though MP3 players are now on the market, most people still use CDs and cassettes. Some people, like nightclub DJs, even want vinyl records. If you want to sell product, you have to cater to them all. The cheapest way to press/duplicate CDs is to burn a few hundred or so on your own CD burning machine. Buy a CD duplicating machine that can probably do about 4 at a time for a reasonably priced one, or get a duplicating service to do it. Look up CD and tape duplicators in your local yellow pages and in ads in your local music newspaper. Some will even advance you some credit, but all will want some money up front. If you're new to the business, start out at getting 1,000 pressed at a time. Your job is to sell them just like a fruit vendor sells bananas. It's business. You need a barcode on your CDs if selling them retail. Get it through the Uniform Code Council, uc-council.org, at a one-time cost of about $300. Selling music online too. The advantage of selling music online is for both the musician and the music lover. It's tough for all musicians out there, except for the few fluky flakes who get manufactured as pop stars, to even be heard, much less make a living from music, but the internet has given them an outlet to present their music to the world, provided they promote themselves. Musicians don't have to be so dependent on the big break with the big record label anymore, although they still want the big contract, and music connoisseurs can sit back at home, read reviews online, then sample the music, and if they like it, they can pay a few bucks by credit card and download it immediately. If people don't want to download music or don't have the technology, that's fine too. They can listen to the music online, transfer the money either online or through snail mail, and the musician will send the individual the CD. This method of music sales is called direct distribution, and it gives the independent musician a chance to earn a living through his art. The internet will give you the means to set up a website and let the world come visit to hear your music and check you out, but unlike the mainstream music industry where they can sell just about anything to the mainstream pop crowd of young people by pummeling it over the airwaves and saying it's cool, if you're an indie selling over the internet, your potential crowd is generally older music connoisseurs looking for good music. If you're just a gimmick band and your music ain't very good, it won't sell, case closed. But on the other hand, if you're good, the word will spread by word of mouth, and sooner or later someone will approach you with a record contract for a major label. People still like to browse at CD stores, which is a good thing, to have a central place where a bunch of musicians' products are, but the problem with this is that there is often only room for the few mainstream artists on the pop charts, but this is changing too. There are online websites, sometimes called online music portal services, which are venues for a bunch of alternative and indie musicians to showcase their stuff, kinda like shopping malls full of musicians plugging their wares with a bunch of links to all their individual websites. These are popular with local and regional music newspapers, magazines, and their websites. As a musician promoting your music, you have to get listed on as many of these as possible, particularly the specialty ones that cater to your category of music: jazz, pop, hip-hop, country, etc. Figure out what category you fit into, pick a successful group that matches your style, then dig up whatever websites they're profiled on and try to get profiled there too. Load their name into search engines and go from there in copying them and stealing their ideas. Even if you think your music is unique and defies categorization, you have to play this game of fitting into categories, at least until you develop a fanbase, if you want to get exposure. The exact opposite of the artist who thinks he's unique is the clone, the opportunity musician. He looks at current CD sales and what's being downloaded most, then simply copies the style by creating his own similar music to this popular stuff and selling it. This is clone marketing, the exact same thing they do in the business world with products. They steal each other's good ideas. It's perfectly legal as long as it's not too direct a rip-off. Keep it a bit different. Just use the general idea. Whereas in the past, it was a headache for any musician anywhere to go to one of the few meccas of music to try to make it: Los Angeles, Nashville, New York, Toronto. Nowadays, a musician can stay home and hawk his music, and if some big timer comes across it and likes it, he will go to the musician and make a deal with him or her, rather than the old way, which was a bunch of starving musicians living in these big cities all looking for a break with the same few major labels. Over and above music, a lot of musicians personalize their websites with a little newsletter, blog, or diary about their lives and include logistical information such as tour dates. You have to package yourself up to look good, just like any product in business. There was a good documentary about the Grateful Dead on some TV show that showcased their ups and downs until they hit on a great idea about 25 or so years ago, when everybody else was dependent on the record companies. They said screw 'em, went traveling on the road, playing gigs, making their own records, selling them through the chain stores directly, and developed a line of merchandise to go along with their image, like t-shirts, headbands, etc. They rarely made it on mainstream radio but made a decent living nonetheless. Still, it was no cakewalk. Except for a few pop stars who fluke out, the life of a musician is not easy. You have to love it to do it, just like anything, I guess. The Dead were the pioneers of the independent musician. One Dead website is dead.net. There are more. Learn from them. In the music industry at large, it's often not the best musicians that make it, but the ones that look good, with a gimmick, who knows somebody in the business or their manager knows somebody who packages them up. When you are signed to a record company, all the advances and expenses you make recording your album are taken off the top by the record company before you reap any money for yourself. Promotion costs a lot of money. Record companies are not stupid. They have been in business for years before you came along. They know how to play hungry, naive musicians and rip them off by claiming you still owe them for expenses. At least with online sales, you have some control of your own destiny. If they offer you deal, you will have some leverage with them. There are ways to advertise your music online. You do it just like any business would as discussed in my business book, but the best way is still through word of mouth, often stemming from a few good website CD reviews which start the ball rolling. The best way to go is to try to get a CD distribution deal with a major label or directly through the music stores in your home country than in foreign countries, but have a strong online presence for potential sales worldwide through the internet. Only a few major pop stars get good media coverage worldwide, so unless you're there, you have to sell yourself any way you can. Use a user-friendly online payment service to handle all your financial transactions for a low percentage fee to keep it simple for you, such that you can focus more time on making and marketing music. You will have to learn how to convert your music to a digital form for online distribution or get a geek friend to do it for you. The bottom line, in my opinion, is to spend most of your time creating good music. The technology part of it should be something minor that you do, kinda like a writer who learns how to use a word processing program. It's just a means to the end, which is to write good stuff. If you get good at recording your own music and promoting it through your website as an indie, why not do what all the big-time musicians eventually do? They start signing their own talent under their own label, producing it and promoting it for a percentage cut of the profits over and above expenses. You get the expenses too because you're providing all the services. You become another record label taking on new talent. It's very easy to get new artists since everybody is looking for a record deal. Just put the word out. They will be sending tapes left and right. On the other hand, if your self-promotion goes well, a big record label might come calling offering you a deal. If you don't like the logistics end of the music-making business, this might be the simplest way to go. Focus on your music while they focus on publicity and paperwork. Marketing music 1. Music is the product. Create it. Package it up in a cool-looking CD cover. Make up a press/promo kit. Make up a website. Get listed on major music portal websites and search engines. Market yourself/your band online through online radio stations, news groups, chat rooms, media websites, and link to other websites. Market yourself offline by playing wherever you can and trying to get on TV and radio to either or both play and be interviewed. If you make it as a pop star, other people do most of the marketing for you. If you're by yourself, you have to do it all. Like the old country song says, I never promised you a rose garden. The music industry is cute for the few people who get manufactured as teen idols, but everybody else has to work really hard to make it. Musicians in the music industry cannot be introverts. You have to get out there in front of the public to perform, and develop some kind of sexy or sassy image about yourself that gets you noticed. Beyond that, you can't just be a bohemian musician thinking the future will take care of it itself somehow. You have to be a salesperson, business person, and marketer. Lots of musicians live the typical musician lifestyle. They get average gigs, make a livable paycheck, drink, get high, get laid, eat greasy foods after their gigs, etc. So they live this way for 10 to 20 years, which is fine when you're young and running with life, but at some point, you will either get tired of this lifestyle or your health and/or public appeal will go somewhat, then you will be stuck without a gig. Save some money now. Run yourself as a business. And as I say in my business book, the one major determinant that separates the successful business people from the failures is your ability to get along with people, cohorts, bandmates, hired guns, agents, promoters, media hosts and, of course, the fans/customers. The art of promotion, publicity, and advertising are the same regardless of the venue, either conventional business or the music biz, offline and online. The means are the same as discussed in my business book. You have to get positive attention for your band and your music by being out there at events, setting up concerts, playing at charity events, appearing on local media shows, giving away band t-shirts, etc. And you have to do the right things online to give your website some visibility, like get listed on search engines at the very least. Anything you can think of that constitutes attention from people is publicity. For a musician, besides merchandising, which is trying to sell mugs, dope pipes, screensavers, mouse pads, school bags, lunch buckets, baseball caps, sports bottles, address books, bookmarks, calendars, flags, car deodorants, puzzles, windbreakers and t-shirts imprinted with your website on it, it's all about playing live. The paradox of playing live is that the more you play live, the more popular you get and the more the media, TV, radio, newspapers, want to interview you or get you on their shows. Your cash to them is the reputation you've developed by playing live. The more you play live, provided you're good, the more popular you get and the more media exposure you get. CBC Radio's show Definitely Not the Opera, cbc.ca/dnto, did a piece about introverted musicians who sold their music online but never played live. Some were able to sell some CDs, but it was nowhere near the bands who played live all the time. Music is a public gig. Even a writer, which is a supposedly private gig, has to get out there and promote his stuff, particularly if he's selling fiction, unlike non-fiction practical books which can often sell themselves, but as far as fiction goes, no way. You have to promote it. If you want to break live playing down, the first venue you think of is the nightclub. There are roughly two types. Mainstream. Quirky. The mainstream clubs want you to play top 40 stuff straight out. The only way you can make it big there is if you have one or two original hit songs that get radio airplay that you can mix in with the top 40. The money deal is often that you get 50% of the cover charges taken in. You can earn a living playing top 40 hits for drunk working people to dance to in order to forget about their jobs for a while, but it ain't a great venue to sell CDs simply because they don't really care about the music all that much. Most musicians have contempt for playing top 40 stuff to drunks. They want to play their own music. This is where the money is anyway, to create your own music and sell it as opposed to paying royalties when you play and/or record somebody else's songs, which you're technically supposed to do, although very few local bands do. The quirky, alternative, offbeat, folksy clubs that let you do whatever you want are the best bet for true musicians. They will try you out at least once. Beyond playing at nightclubs, try to play at large outdoor concert venues like folk fests, at fairs, weddings, banquets, meetings, free concerts sponsored by a radio station or the local government, anywhere that will get you exposure from the average mainstream crowd as opposed to the drunks at the bar. Hire yourself out to play anywhere for a reasonable fee. As an offshoot, you will sell some CDs and build a reputation. Offer to play at charitable events. Ally yourself with a charity and play at their functions for free. You might get on TV. This would be great publicity. They say that all the musicians who sang on the original USA for Africa video went on to bigger and better success. If you're a local, regional, or even a national band and you can write a patriotic song that honors a certain area or even your country, this could put you in the stratosphere. How about Lee Greenwood's Proud to be an American, Springsteen's Born in the USA, Catherine McKinnon's Farewell to Nova Scotia, Paul McCartney's Mull of Kintyre, or John Mellencamp's Ain't That America? Marketing a music CD is not quite like marketing a widget because you're marketing yourself to entertain and inspire people, which is considerably something more personal and emotional than selling widgets. You're selling the customer a temporary feeling of easy breezy coolness. That's what it comes down to. Quite frankly, I haven't bought a CD in over 20 years, but I'm different from the average person. I'm purposely anti-pop culture. I think it has destroyed the toughness and moral fiber of Western society. I listen to music, but the music I listen to was almost all created before 1990. It's all I need. Most of the newer stuff is crap to me and I can't be bothered sifting through the crud to find a gem. I respect true artists, but everybody thinks they're a true artist, and at my age, the mid-40s, it's really about my own game of life, not wasting my time or money on some musician trying to sell me a feeling. I have a standard of life inside of me. Music won't phase it one way or another. My point is to get real. Unless you really believe in this stuff, move on to a practical field. People want to see somebody they like, somebody they can relate to who makes them feel good, which is why most people buy records, because they like the musician. They think he, she, or the band are cool. Some musicians are introverts. They never play live. They either get mainstream airplay or market themselves online, but in today's world, anyone with any guts has got to play live as often as they can. This is the only way people get to see you and get to know you. From a purely business point of view, create a good website and promote it any way you can, through bumper stickers, music portal websites, advertising, on t-shirts, at live gigs, etc. Refer to my business books for the basics of website development and internet marketing. Your website should have some photos of you, a little story about yourself, your schedule of live gigs, some audio and video clips of your music, an order form, merchant credit card status, possibly a financial transaction service like PayPal.com to process your orders, some merchandising products like logo t-shirts, and maybe a chat room for music fans to get on and talk to each other. Like I say in my business book, you need interesting stuff over and above just promoting your stuff in order to attract visitors. Try to become an informative and social portal for your category of music and market your music as an afterthought to this. It's alright to allow other musicians to advertise on your site. You could even charge them for their ads. Exchange links with related musical websites. If you're a jazz band and your name is Deuces, you could have two domain names that both lead to the same website, deuces.com and jazzuniverse.com. Your website is both a promotion for your band and a central spot for jazz info and music. Have a recording of you playing live. You need this video streaming feature on your website. Sometimes go on live and talk to people through a webcam. You need broadcast software and a webcam. Try to get on internet radio stations. Answer all emails promptly. Answering emails creates friendship with your fans. Ask them nicely to promote your stuff by telling their friends about it. Continue to expand your catalog of music and let the fans know about it. Make a Christmas CD. Make a good video and try to get it on mainstream music TV. Try to get a good manager who can book you for live gigs worldwide. Fans like to give and receive feedback. Ask them for ideas and use them. Offer fans free CDs if they will help you translate your website into other languages like Spanish, French, Japanese, and German, the languages where people buy most products. Get on as many of the big music portal sites as possible like mp3.com. Most let you on their website for free and pay you if someone downloads your music, but on the other hand, if you have money, you can pay to get a premium ranking or extra advertising. Make the website simple to use and professional looking. The more amateurish it looks, the more people will think you're a flunky and move on. Submit your website to search engines using keywords like jazz music, punk rock music, rap music, etc. Don't use a hard sell. Be a good guy providing interesting information about music. The sales pitch is almost an afterthought near the end of your website. Have a contest like a songwriting contest. Once you have a mailing list of email addresses, you can send your customers details about your live gigs, discount coupons, etc. It's best to do this in a solicited as opposed to an unsolicited manner. Have a feature on your website which the visitor can click on if he wants to receive occasional emails from you regarding your music and music in general. Call it your music newsletter if you want. You send out a general email newsletter monthly regarding your category of music, and in between your content, you slip in promotions about your band. Some people who have these email newsletters don't even say who the source is. They present it as a general newsletter but surreptitiously market themselves in the content. Keep the music newsletter short and sweet. Include the live gig schedules of the bands in your genre of music. This and a few photos should eat up almost enough space to make it a worthy-looking newsletter. Make up videos for some of your music that you play on your website. Cross-publicize all the time. Advertise your live gigs on your website. Put a big banner up at your live gigs promoting your website. Marketing music too. To keep it simple, think of 2 ways to market your music. Online. Offline, real world. Within online marketing, you have your own website, then you have all the stuff out there in cyberspace through which you can promote it, mainly through search engines, music portal sites, web radio interviews, talking about yourself on chat rooms and news groups, having your own news groups and chat rooms on your website. Place small ads offering free, cool music at your website on musicboards.com and related portal websites. Create a music community at your website with information, chat room, news group, plus answer all your emails personally or get your 10-year-old son or daughter to do it. As I discuss in my business book, even though it sounds kind of hokey, media of all kinds, mainstream, your demographic category of some genre of music, internet media, need content to fill themselves up to present to the public. If you're assertive in your marketing efforts, you will make up a press release when you release a new CD and send it around to relevant media like music magazines, radio stations, newspapers, and TV channels where you will be playing in an attempt to get interviewed for either an article or a spot on the local news. Offer to play live on the local news. It might get you the free publicity of the interview. Offer to write articles for music publications both on and offline, and at the end, put in the name of your music website. Some internet radio stations will play your content if you submit it to them, some will be willing to interview you or feature you, and some might even give you your own show to fill up time if you're original and wacky enough. This would be a great opportunity to promote your music, by hosting a radio show, or better still, start your own internet radio station and promote yourself through it. Internet radio stations often sell banner advertising and have audio ads like offline radio stations. The major department stores and major retail websites like cdnow.com usually buy hundreds of different CD titles from the big record labels in one shot, but independents can approach them too, offer your CD in a professional package in a specific category shrink-wrapped, and they might carry it. They buy CDs directly from artists who are on the pop charts but not signed with any label. Sell through music portal websites that cater to indie musicians. Try selling through internet auctions like eBay.com. Once you get going good, or some manager, promoter, or big record label decides to market you as a pop star, you or they will either hire publicists or consultants to develop your image and get you publicity. They will also hire accountants and managers to look after the money, but be very wary. Check the books yourself or make sure you get paid immediately for everything you do. The music mags have ads for all kinds of promoters, managers, etc. The big labels put out big bucks to advertise new CDs in music mags and even on TV. You might consider doing this too. In the end, music makes it based on the music and the cool image of the performer, or fails because it sucks and the musician is a bland-looking, bland-acting person. Chapter 2. Get a gig. Setting up your own gig. You could be the musician setting your own gig or a manager setting up the gig for your act. You need upfront money to put it together, have to refine the act for the show and rent a venue to hold it. You might have to hire some crew from inside the venue to control the lights, act as security, etc. Most places have their own crews that you have to hire. In addition, you need people to move your gear in if it's a band, set it up, coordinate your own light show, etc. They all expect to be paid at the show before it even starts. They are all wise to people skipping out on them. If you don't pay, they won't let you do the show. They will call the cops and kick you out for trespassing. For some venues, there's a base price, then extras if you want extra services like security, light service, ushers, etc. The organizer has to plan the show so that it's ready for the show or opening night, and it doesn't end up costing more money than you will take in, even with a full house. You have to focus on the bottom line, making a profit. You have to keep your performers and work crew happy. You do this by paying them and making them feel appreciated. Make your show tight. Know exactly what you will do. Even if it's a music show and you have your list of songs to play, a lot of musicians still write a script beyond this of what they will say between songs, which they will use as a guide in their memory during the show. In other words, they have their ad-libs all planned out before the show. The first time you produce a show, you will encounter a lot of minor screw-ups, but as you continue to do them, you will learn how they work and what's important. Make the contract with the venue specific. Get all the details in writings, like what time they want you out, if you need to buy liability insurance for the event, and if you are responsible for the trash or damage caused by the audience. A lot of business will be conducted over the phone. You will have to stay in touch with the venue owner right up until the event to keep each other informed of adjustments and changes. Book your show at the venue at least 2 months before you do it to give you time to advertise and get some publicity. It takes time to put a show together and set up. Effective publicity. Shows and concerts are generally attended better in the summer. People are in a more leisurely mood then, even though there will be competition from other entertainment venues. On the other hand, people want to get out more in the winter. The truth is that a good act or show will do well anytime as long as it's not oversaturated in the marketplace. In the summer, you could go cheap with an outdoor or tent show. Try to avoid a conflict, like if there's another big show the same night as yours, some people might go to that one. Check with the local arts council and musicians union to find an uncrowded date for your show. Most events are scheduled after 7 o'clock and before 9 o'clock unless it's a show that is expected to go late. Try to rent a place that's the right size for how many people you expect to show up. If you rent too big of a place, it will be more expensive than a smaller place. If you rent too small a place, you will have to turn away potential ticket sales because there are legal seating capacity limits in every public building due to fire and safety regulations. It's difficult to accurately predict the size of the audience. A lot of people are off. You don't know when the public thinks you're hot or not. Just the best you can. Location is everything. You need a place near the main drag that's easy to find. I remember one time some animal rights group was holding a big social event about 5 miles from downtown and you had to go down some dirt road to get there. You might want security at the door to frisk people. They do this for rap concerts. You might want a security guard out in the parking lot to watch over the cars. Speaking of parking, is there enough? What about the stage size? Will it be enough to perform your show? Do a sound and light check before the show. What equipment will the venue provide and what will you bring? What is the dressing room like? What about bathrooms, a room to store your stuff and lock it up, a kitchenette to cook up a snack, etc. Read my business book about publicity. Get some promotional materials, posters, tickets, etc. Have a way to sell your tickets in advance. Advertise on the radio, in the newspapers, in local magazines and on TV if you can afford it. Save your big promotional push for about 10 days before the show. You often design your own posters on a computer and event print out, but it will probably be easier to take your master copy to the print shop to get a bunch printed up there. Be careful where you put your posters. It's illegal to tack them on lampposts in some areas. Try to arrange a radio and/or TV interview on the day before or on the day of the event. Local news shows sometimes do segments on local events. Don't overcharge for your tickets. Charge roughly the same as other similar shows. Get set up with the local ticket outlets and maybe the ticket office of the venue itself. The tickets themselves should look reasonably good, durable enough to be carried in a wallet for a week or two, and should be hard to counterfeit. With color printers and computer scanners, people try to counterfeit anything. You can make your own tickets on the computer or buy them from a business products or stationery store. Depending on the venue, you can possibly make money from side ventures like food, concessions, and sales of CDs, t-shirts, etc. Make up a budget. Put all your expenses on one side, then after the show put your take on the other and decide if it was profitable enough to do again. You will need a trustworthy person at the door to sell tickets. You will have to give them change to get them started. At the end of the night, expect a form from them with the initial cash in till plus cash for the exact number of tickets sold. This is why you have to give an exact number of tickets, but the way dishonest door people get around this is that they don't give tickets to some people who pay, or they simply pick up the discarded tickets on the floor in the area where people enter after they pay. Cash can corrupt anyone. I used to work the door at bars in my younger days. When you're dealing with all that cash and nobody is looking, it's very easy to hide $20 or even $50 in your sock or underwear. Don't forget to provide food and drinks for your showmates and crew, especially if it's a long show. Some of your showmates and crew will also expect 2 or more free tickets for their friends. Get gigs/find gigs. Gigmasters.com. Jamconnect.com. Gigmore.com matches musicians and bands. Gigsalad.com. Aloud.com. Find concert tickets, music tickets, gig tickets, and more. bbc.co.uk. Bandsforhireusa.com. ehow.com, how to find music gigs on Craigslist. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/gig_left_musical_performance right . ents24.com, entertainment listings and information encompassing live music, clubbing, cinema, theatre, arts and stand-up comedy across the UK. Gigsalad.com. festivalnet.com/music_festivals.html. gig-events-guide.co.uk. iwritethemusic.com/musicgigs.html. jbs.com.au, JB's Entertainment and Gig Guide. madline.com/music/regular.html, Madison Music Online Regular Gigs List. musicforte.com/gigs. music-jobs.com. myspace.com/gigsmusic. nationalgigguide.com, British. newmusicstrategies.com/2008/08/1/7/how-can-I-put-my-gigs-online, how can I put my gigs online? news.bbc.co.uk/1/hi/entertainment/music. onlinegigs.com. Promoters. rhapsody.com/gigs. rocksite.info, buy USA rock music concert and tour tickets, US rock music gigs. sonicbids.net, connects bands and music promoters. sonicbids.com, connects bands and managers. Chapter 3. Nuts and bolt music business topics. Merchant credit card status. You should get set up with MasterCard, Visa, or PayPal. It will cost you from 3% to 5%, but you must have this service available for your customers if you want to stay in business. This is called merchant credit card status. The important thing here is to ultimately set up your account in the bank that will service all of these credit transactions for you, one stop for all your banking needs. In most instances, you will find that having the capability to fill orders/make sales via credit card transactions will increase your volume of sales appreciatively. If a local bank won't do it, check others for leads and check the ads of money-making magazines for ads. You can seriously increase your orders by accepting credit cards as payment, especially if you're on the internet. It's easy and convenient for the customer, and that makes it more likely for them to order. The only problem is that it's hard for a business, especially a small business, to gain the ability to accept credit cards. Banks are very reluctant to authorize credit card acceptance, mainly because they have been burned too many times by fraudulent businesses. The merchant bank allows the retailer or merchant to accept credit card payments from customers. Banks or financial institutions have strict regulations regarding issuing a merchant account. When the merchant gets merchant credit card. Status: he or she rents or buys special software or hardware, a processing terminal, to process transactions. If you can't get a merchant account from a bank, a merchant broker might be able to get you one. Brokers charge an upfront setup fee and then lease or sell the transaction equipment. Banks and brokers typically charge a percentage fee for every transaction completed, generally from 2 to 7%. Some merchant credit card systems offer immediate automated transaction processing while the customer waits. Others offer manual processing, which collects payment information, which is later manually processed. In any case, if you're serious about being in business, the cost to buy these processing equipment will be much cheaper than renting it in the long run. With the point-of-sale terminal, you just punch in the numbers, expiration date, and amount of sale. When you send this information, the processor, using a phone line, transmits the information and sends back either an approval code number or a decline, rejection. The most common fees are as follows. Count rate: a fixed percentage taken from every credit card sale transaction. Visa and MasterCard take from 2 to 4%, Discover and American Express take more. Monthly fees: Internet merchant account fee, chargebacks or holdbacks. Your bank or MAP may hold back, or reserve, a percentage of your transaction receipts to cover any contested charges in the future. They will debit your account for all chargeback fees against your account that are successfully contested. Credit card holders have the right to contest charges on their statements based on dissatisfaction with the product or service, fraudulent use of the card by someone else, or error. When they contest the charge successfully, a chargeback occurs. The merchant pays back the charge to the issuing bank and probably a fee like a bounced check fee. Bankers are the biggest vendors of merchant credit services. Other options are trade associations and business groups. Then go to the most expensive brokers if you can't get an account any other way. Many businesses go on accepting only cash, checks or money orders for payment and miss out on the added sales they would get through credit cards. There is a way for businesses that can't get bank authorization to accept credit cards. The easiest way is to work with an independent sales organization, ISO, which acts as a middleman between small businesses and banks. They will charge an additional fee for each transaction, so you will be paying a bit more than the standard percentage charged for credit card transactions. There will also be an application fee. Here are the typical charges to expect. Application fees: usually, these range from $95 to $400 and may or may not be refundable. Point of sale terminal purchase or lease: the terminal you use to process the charge and check for fraudulent numbers is usually available from a bank for around $300. You will only be able to get this price if a bank authorizes you. If working through an ISO, prices will range from $400 to even as high as $1,500. You can usually lease the terminal at an average of $45/month. The best thing to do is to find an ISO that will provide computer software that can be used in place of a terminal. This will usually cost only around $150. Service fees: banks charge between 2% and 5% for processing a credit card purchase. ISOs charge higher, usually 3% to 7%. They also usually charge a per transaction fee of 20 to 25 cents and a monthly statement fee of $5 to $10. ISOs only want to work with legitimate businesses and ones that will stay with them for a long period of time. If a business can afford these fees, they are considered less of a risk. The important thing to do is to shop around for an ISO. Get as much information as you can about each ISO you are considering and read it thoroughly. Look for hidden charges and unreasonable requirements. Check out the ads in the money-making / business magazines offering merchant credit card status. Get the free catalog from Eden Press, 11623. Slater E. Pop 6410, Fountain Valley, CA. 92728, 800-338-8484, EdenPress.com, which offers books on merchant credit cards. 1 STAMERICANCARDSERVICE.com. ACS-CVP.com. AmericanExpress.com, 800-528-5200. ATCBilling.com, Automated Transactions Corp. ATSBank.com. AuthorizeNet.com. CardService.com. CashFinder.com. Charge.com, 800-7 Merchant. DinersClub.com, 800-432-1160. Discover.com, 800-347-6673. icw.com/cardserv/crdsrv.html. InternetSecure.com, accept credit cards through them without the hassles of getting your own account. MErchantExpress.com. MErchantServices.com. MErchantWarehouse.com, credit card processing equipment and software. MErchantWorks.com, list of companies. OpenMarket.com. ParaPublishing.com, book on the subject. PayByWeb.com. PaymentMall.com. PaymentNet.com. Try your local banks and your trade/professional association for merchant credit card services first before you go to outside services which are usually more expensive. Alta Financial Services, 1839 Alma School Road. Number 226 Mesa, AZ 852-10800-684-4010. 602-491-4010 fax, 602-491-4910 accepts small businesses. American Express. Establishment Services. 800-445-2639. AmericanExpress.com. American Home Business Association. 4505 South Wasatch Boulevard. SLC, Utah 84124. 800-664-2422. HomeBusiness.com. HomeBusinessWorks.com. Bancard, Inc. 1233 Sherman Drive. Longmont, Colorado 80501. 800-666-7575. BusinessToolbox.com. Pro Sound Concert Companies. AbridgesOlution.com, a bridge solution. AmericanMusic.com, American Music Seattle. AtlantisAudio.com, Atlantis Audio and Lighting. AtcoInc.com, Atco. AUDIO310.com, Live Sound Concepts. Concert and event sound company for the Southern California Los Angeles area. Stage lighting, backline. AudioInstitute.com, Audio Institute of America. Bandshell.com, VB Industries. BMLink.com, BML Incorporated. Bobadilla.com, Bobadilla Cases. CLAIR-AUDIO.com, Claire Brothers Audio. Clearwing.com, Clearwing Productions. Colortone.com, Colortone Staging and Rental, Inc. Comunilux.com, Communilux Productions. Cranesong.com, Cranesong Ltd. Delicate.com, Delicate Productions. ElectricEar.com, Electric Ear Productions. EventTechOnline.com, Event Tech. EverythingsHowBiz.com, EverythingsHowBiz.com. freeyellow.com/members2/entertainment systems, Entertainment Systems Corporation. gbaudio.cjb.net, Audio. gsdpro.com, GSD Productions, Inc. intellawsound.com, Intel Sound Productions. lucidtechnology.com, Lucid Technology. macpherson-inc.com, McPherson, Inc. mcmsystems.com, MCM Sound Systems. midnightblueproaudio.com, Midnight Blue Professional Audio. mori.org/l-mori/dark_phoenix.html, Dark Phoenix Productions Inc. mzwproductions.com, MZW Productions. oceanstate.com, Ocean State Rigging Systems, Inc. polarfocus.com, Polar Focus. pro-formance.com, Proformance Lighting. prosoundusa.com, ProSound USA. sciohio.com, Production Solutions, Inc. readsound.com, Read Sound. rentcom.com, Rentcom, Inc. rgsound.com, RG Sound, Communications and Staging. Ridgewood Sound, Syracuse, New York. sb.net/jgraver/boundary.html, Boundary Production. Seco. Showco.com, Showco. snowzound.com, Snow Sound Inc. soundsgreat.com, Sounds Great. soundsummit.com, Sound Summit. specialeventservices.com, Special Event Services. stagesound.com, Stage Sound, Inc. suntrack.com, Suntrack Sound, Inc. symetricsaudio.com, Symetrix. teleport.com/legends, legends for sale/sundown sound. thirdearsound.com, Third Ear Sound. toursupply.com, Tour Supply Inc. trinitysoundcompany.com, Trinity Sound Company. triskellionproaudio.com, Triskelion Professional Audio and Stage Lighting. turnofthecenturyproductions.com, Turn of the Century Productions. twcnewyork.rr.com. unitedstaging.com, United Staging and Rigging. wavetribe.com, Wavetribe Productions. wcsl.org, West Coast Sound and Light. netcom.com/o sound, Gold Sound and Lighting Services. Los Angeles. Concert Lighting Company websites. alss1.com, Advanced Lighting and Sound Solutions. altmanltg.com, Altman Stage Lighting Company, Inc. amazingcontrols.com, Amazing Controls. angelfire.com/biz/precision, Precision Theatrical Lighting and Special Effects. atlantisaudio.com, Atlantis Audio and Lighting. atcoinc.com, Atco. banditlights.com, Bandit Lights. blueragcafe.to, Light Vobs Inc. bmlink.com, BML Incorporated. bobadilla.com, Bobadilla Cases. clearwing.com, Clearwing Productions. colortone.com, Colortone Staging Rentals. communilux.com, Communilux Productions. creativestagelighting.com, Creative Stage Lighting Company. cybertech-designs.com, Cybertech Designs. darkstarlighting.com, Darkstar Lighting. dirksen.com, Dirksen. dpi-ld.com, Design Partners, Inc. electrosonic.com, Electrosonic Int. elux.net, Elux. ncscorp.com, Entertainment Systems Corporation. esta.org/homepages/circuit lighting, circuit lighting inc. adazis.com, Ada Systems, etc. Connect.com, etc. eventtechonline.com, Event Tech. Everythingshowbiz.com, everythingshowbiz.com. fnets.com/escinc.hdm, entertainment systems. gaffer.cjb.net, lighting by Al Reiners. getgts.com, general theatrical supply. gsdpro.com, GSD Productions, Inc. gslDallas.com, Gemini Stage Lighting. highend.com, High-End Systems. icdevices.com, Intelligent Control Devices. i-ld.com, Irwin Lighting Design, Inc. intelligentlighting.com, Intelligent Lighting Creations. jancoltd.com, Janco. johnpedone.bizland.com, Unlimited Illumination. jsha.com, John S. Hyatt and Associates. jtservices.com, JT Services/Available Light. lehighdim.com, Lehigh Electric Products Co. lightfxunlimited.com, lightf/x Unlimited. lighthom.com, Louis S. Lighting Inc. lumination.com, Lumination Productions. lutron.com, Lutron Electronics. magnumco.com, Magnum Companies. majesticproductions.com, Majestic Productions, Inc. majesticproductions.com, Majestic Productions. meteor-global.com, Meteor Lighting. mole.com, Mole and Richardson Co. morpheuslights.com, Morpheus Inc. mps-inc.net, Maximum Production Services. multiimagegroup.com, Multi-Image Group. nifty-gadgets.com, Nifty Gadgets. nsicorp.com, NSI Corporation/Colortron. oasis-stage.com, Oasis Stage Works. oceanstate.com, Ocean State Rigging Systems, Inc. opti-case.com, OptiCase. pacific-grip.com, Pacific Grip and Lighting, Inc. Portland, Seattle. Phoebus.com, Phoebus Company. prodart.com, Production Arts Lighting, Inc. pro-formance.com, Proformance Lighting. quickbeam.com, Quickbeam Systems Inc. refraction.net, Refraction Media. rigging.net, Complete Stage Services. riggingzstems.com, Peter Albrecht Company, Inc. sdstagelighting.com, San Diego Stage and Lighting Supply. seal-fla.com, Stage Equipment and Lighting Inc. secoa.com, Seco. seedsign.com, Shearer Entertainment Lighting Design. sfps.net, Stage Front Presentation Systems. silhouettelights.com, Silhouette Lights. specialeventservices.com, Special Event Services. spectrumlighting.com, Spectrum Inc. stagelighting.com, STTV and A/V Service, Inc. starlightpro.com, Starlight Productions. stellardesigns.com, Stellar Designs Inc. Multimedia Laser Shows. strandlight.com, Strand Lighting. supertech-inc.com, Supertech, Inc. t2k.com, Towards 2000 Inc. techni-lux.com, Technilux. teleport.com 80/lights, Hollywood Lights. tempestlighting.com, Tempest Lighting. theocl.com, The Original Cast Lighting. tlsinc.com, Theatrical Lighting Systems. tmb.com, TMB Associates. toolsforstagecraft.com, Tools for Stagecraft. totalstructures.com, Total Structures. turningpointservices.com, Turning Point Services, Inc. Turnofthecenturyproductions.com, Turn of the Century Productions. UnitedStageAssociates.com, United Stage Associates. UnitedStaging.com, United Staging and Rigging. Upstaging.com, Upstaging, Inc. VARI-LITE.com, Varilight. VIDEOWEST-AZ.com, Show Design Inc. VIDEOWEST-AZ.com, Videoist-AZ. Westsun.com, Westsun. WYBRON.com, WeBron, Inc. Create a music website. SonicBreakdown.com, your own custom music information website. Music video production / create a music video. MusicVideoDirector.net. MusicVideoProduction.com. timtv.com/mv-101.html, learn how to make music videos with Music Video 101. 1stsb.com, create a slideshow to music. Adobe.com. Apple.com/pro/video. berkeleymusic.com/?PID=456, music courses. bluevisionmusic.com/cmrc/video.html. business.com/directory/media_entertainment/music/video_production. colinmichael.com/musicvideoproduction.html. colomar.com/shavano/video.html. digitalmaster.com, Nashville. digitalproduction.info. diorio.net/video-production.html, service. educationworld.com/lesson/01-1/LP226_05.shtml. eventfun.biz. ffair.com. giee.net. goggleboxvideo.com. jlstudios.ca/music_production.html. caritos.com. kotickets.com, music and multimedia solutions. lightandepth.com/music-video-production-film-contact.html. longzav.com/videoguide.jsp. metacritic.com/music. musicbizacademy.com/articles/mg_makeavideo.htm. musicbooksplus.com/video-c-35.html. musicvideoproduction.com. nea.org/lessons/2003/tt0307.html. nonstopmusic.com. pgmusic.com. shockwave.com/sw/content/photojam. tntdjvideo.com/video.html, commercial video production video. top-hat.com. traumacenterproduction.com. uni.edu/vernallist/documentary.html. uvtvproductions.com, video production service. videoartstudios.com. videomaker.com.